Hey guys, this is another Beer Company beer review, and it's another one of those series that's slightly out of sync purely because they delivered my beers very late. So this is day number 4, Gangster. We will see what we get. So number 4, yeah, 4 is here. It says Dad's beer. I've heard of Gad's beer, but not Dad's beer. Right, so after this one, we are back on track. Okay, think I've heard of this dude. Actually, let me put this thing back together. That day 11 keeps trying to escape. Keep having to keep him in line, push him back in. Dude, come on. Get in there, mofo. There we go. Okay. So, this is called Everyday Pale, and it's by Jiddler's Tipple. Let me move forward a little bit. I think I've heard of this guy before because he is an ex-home brewer. Dun, 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 Jiddler's Tipple. And this is the dude that his kind of artwork for the cans is from old like Hawaiian shirts and weird stuff like that. Ah, look, if you want to check him out, you can do one of those QR code what's the names. Let's have a look. So it's 3, look down there, 3.8. My God. Go ahead, pick me up. Looking good. I put my funkiest shirt on this morning to catch your attention. I've heard of a technique called peacocking. He likes the cock. And I'm full of delicious aromatic sessional pale ale. My God, if this sounds a bit like I'm whispering in your ear, that's what it's all about. I'm made from ingredients that come from a non-fashionable part of North London. And we have barley, wheat and oats. Not being funny, all of North London is fashionable these days. So I think that is a very marketable ploy for the everyday pale ale. Yeah, the other thing is he doesn't say what hops he uses in this. So it's a pale ale. This is a session pale ale. If there was ever such a thing, 3.8%. Now, dear viewer, in the UK, I think under 4% you pay a different level of tax on your beer. I think that's right. Although these things change all the time. So by having a 3.8% beer, I think that is a certain changing point. I could be wrong. I usually am. But there is different levies paid with regards to tax on your beer. That smells nice though. Right, let's get this bad boy in a glass. And let's also do one of those funky pictures that I always do. Now, as I have said previously, none of these beers are refrigerated. So there's a little bit of kind of foam going on there. But this time, we are not doing too bad. Right, let's get this in the shot. So it says Everyday Pale. It says Beer Company. Even the Christmas tree is on in the background. Let us put this bad boy over by the auberge. Now, we are looking not quite 2 fingers, just under 2 fingers. But look at that fluffy white head. And we'll give Beer Company a plug. Look at that lovely white foam. It is not very bright, like things are. I believe one of this guy's things is doing lighter session style beers, but absolutely ramming the hops in. Crazy. So there is definitely Citra in there. And there's a sort of lemony citrus aroma going on there. There is also, I'm kind of smelling a little bit of sweetness. This would be interesting because this is a light beer. So usually you wouldn't sort of brew it so it's quite sweet. You wouldn't leave so much residual sweetness in there. But I think they have in this case. Right, let's dive in. Ooh, now, oh man. So this hop, I've had the main hop in there. I've definitely had before. And I'm trying to pick it out from my memory, which is where I'd usually rely on the beers, I always rely on the beers, rely on the label for telling me. And this guy, from what I remember, because I read about him somewhere, he does gypsy brewing. So he was a home brewer that kind of got some good recipes and then upscaled them and did some gypsy brewing, like a few people did. And I think he brew, even though he's in North London, he brews in South London, I think. Yeah, I think, or the no, because he does say on his can that he's from North London. Either that or it's the other way around. And I can't remember what brewery it is either. Ah, that's so annoying. And it's one I really like. Is it Centennial? I don't think it's Cascade. Oh man, good hops though. But weirdly, giving the kind of the thing saying, "Oh, I make really hoppy beers, but they're just lighter." Um, it's like that kind of hard seltzer beer. I don't know if you've tried that. It's like a soda water with hops in, and it's really, really light. It's like 1% or something ridiculous. Um, it's weird because I can taste the kind of oats in there too, but it's very, very watered down. So I've got a feeling maybe they've scaled up the recipe and then maybe back watered it down a little bit to get back to 3.8%, which is kind of not the way you want to do it. You want to go, I always say, bottom up or up the bottom as opposed to top down. Um, or even a side, perhaps, if you're a bit woke and you know what that is. Don't look it up on the internet because you'll be shocked. And you'll be shocked that Unclejona knows about such things. But yeah, I don't know. Boy done good. I always say that for a home brewer. So shalom to you, my brother. Um, but maybe it's just because it's such a kind of weak beer. And there's only a tiny bit left in the can. It doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't really say too much is going on. It's got wheat and oats. Let's see what the best before is. August 23. So, still within date. I have been told to check the dates on these beers, but they haven't let me down so far. Really, really nice. It's a hazy. It's a hazy band. A session hazy. Shalom. Perhaps, hmm, perhaps a tiny bit of Simcoe in there too. But it's hard to tell because I can taste that this bad boy is watered down, shall we say, which isn't a bad thing if you're going for a light beer, but I have got this distinct feeling that it was brewed hoppier, then it got watered down, as opposed to brewed at a lower ABV and added lots of hops to it. Ooh, I do beg your pardon, dear viewer. There is a subtle difference there. And if you're doing it in a commercial brewery, I would suspect that they would maybe take some shortcuts such as that if you're contract brewing. But anyway, don't know for sure. It is a nice beer if you're looking for if you're old school. Now, let me put my arm around your shoulder. Dear viewer, if you're old school, especially in the UK, and you are used to 3.5% ABV beers, because that used to be the standard, and I think it's 3.8 now. I don't know why I've got that in my head, but I think I have. You will like this beer if you're used to that light, 3.5% beer. Usually lager, I have to say, from the 70s. Yes, I remember the 70s and the 80s as well. 3.5% beers were the thing. They were definitely the thing, and everyone used to drink them. But what this particular guy has done, Jiddler's Tipple, that's the brewery name, is he's tried to keep a low ABV but still keep the hops in there. And as a beer, I think that's quite a nice beer. But I would say brew the whole beer at the lower ABV and not back water. If that makes sense. Anyway, this has been Unclejona waxing lyrical about beer, like I really do, because I'm passionate about beer. And if you, my friend, are also passionate about beer, click like, click subscribe, flick my bell, and then you will never miss another beer review. But if you don't want to do that, that's absolutely fine. Remember, Unclejona will be here tomorrow drinking more Advent beers, so you guys don't have to in 2022. And until then, whatever you're drinking, drink wonderful, wonderful beer.